Welcome to Terry's Kitchen, where we talk food, faith, and family. Today we have table talk. We have our cousin Denise, who is joining us, and my mom, and we're going to be talking about Aunt Luella, which is Denise's mom. This is a picture of her as a young woman, and then later in life, here's a picture of her. But we are going to be making here in a little bit Aunt Luella's mandarin orange salad. So Denise, thank you for coming and joining and sharing in table talk, and Mom. And so we're just going to go down memory lane, and as we talk about the mandarin orange salad, I remember that salad when we would go on the weekend to Fairview Beach. And Fairview Beach to us was, it's on the Potomac.
Yes, Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Yeah.
And that was our only vacation growing up. We would leave on a Friday evening, and Dad would be driving the car of some anxious kids, and we would stop at a place called Earl's. Was that in Falmouth?
I think it was, yeah. I believe so, before you went into Fredericksburg. It might have been almost into Fredericksburg.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And we would stop at Earl's and this grocery store, and we would get our snacks and goodies for the weekend.
Yep. So
when we arrived, there was a house full, in this cabin, a house full of family. So Denise and her brother Ronald and her brother Dennis, and her mom and dad, Aunt Luella and Uncle Jerry.
that was our home away from home.
Yes.
So
and
we look forward to that every weekend to go there.
So you all went every weekend?
Well, we were there more than we weren't. I'll put it that way. So it was a lot of good memories. So.
Yes. And Uncle Davis and Aunt Betty, which was, Aunt Betty was Denise's dad, Uncle Jerry's sister. And Uncle Davis and Aunt Betty and Aunt Luella and Uncle Jerry owned this cabin together.
They built it.
The
family all built it out of brick, concrete bricks.
Yeah, blocks.
Concrete blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to this day, Aunt Luella and Uncle Jerry have passed, and Aunt Betty and Uncle Davis have also passed. But now Aunt Betty and Uncle Davis's kids are, they own it now, and they maintain it, and they invite us once or twice a year. Chris and Keith are so good, and Connie come, and Larry and Sherry and Earl, and we still have some of those memories. But so at Fairview, so when they got that, what year did they get that? It was...
I'm not really for sure. I want to say like 1960, maybe 60, 61. I sent my brother a message, but he must be working. He didn't send me one back. But it was probably in the 60s. Maybe before that, before that. I'm not for sure.
Okay.
I know it's been there a long time.
It has. And,
Yeah.
And what's interesting to me, that this community at Fairview Beach had a lot of people from the Shenandoah County.
Yeah. I think Uncle Davis, I think what was said that Uncle Davis's friend, Winnie, and I'm not sure of his last name, he also had a place down there. He told Uncle Davis, and Uncle Davis told Dad, come on, I want to show you this place. And together they bought the land, little piece of land, and we all went down and they built the place. And yeah, big old bedroom. You just walk in and it's like all these bunk beds and beds, and that's, you know, sleep sofas in the living room, and of course the honeymoon room, which we always laughed about. So that was Aunt Betty and Uncle Davis's room most of the time.
Yes. So. And Uncle Davis and Aunt Betty were very generous and let Mom and Dad have that. I remember that honeymoon room. And but this cabin brought so many memories. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was talking about this mandarin orange salad, and they said, Terry, how in the world, you really are focused on food, how do you remember that? I don't know it's so much the food, but I remember on a Saturday afternoon, after we had been in the water all day, we would come back and we would be out on the porch, and we would have our dinner.
Yeah.
And Aunt Luella would bring this mandarin orange salad, And I loved it, and I love it to this day. But I don't know, again, it's so much the food is the fellowship of family. And that gives me cold chills because I may get very emotional here, but it was such a wonderful time. I can still remember that screen door when it hit that, those sounds just pop. Yeah. When I put suntan lotion on copper tone, that brings back memories when Mom lathered us up with copper tone lotion.
So we wouldn't burn in the
salt water. So we wouldn't burn, even though we burned.
Yeah, we still burn. Salt water doesn't, you still burn.
Exactly. So so all those, those senses, when I think of the mandarin orange salad, I think about it, in Fairview Beach. Because she always brought that down when we came. Again, the copper tone, suntan lotion.
Tons and tons of food. A table this size, just full of food.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
and when Denise talked about the big room with bunk beds, so we had all of Aunt Betty and Uncle Davis's kids.
Yeah, it was 5
Diane
of them.
And Larry and
most
Earl.
of them were married, so it was about 5 of them. Yeah.
And then your family, and then when we came in, and there was 5 of us, so I remember Dad and Uncle Davis and your mom and Dad having 8 o'clock coffee.
Yeah,
around
staying
the table
up and playing cards until 11 or 12 at night. Yeah, and Uncle Davis going swimming. They always laughed about that. He would go down to the water after everybody else was settling down and go for I guess a midnight swim. Yeah. So.
Oh, and the place has grown up around them.
There's no other cabins that's non-livable. Everybody else, all the cabins and things that's there right now that I know of. People are there year-round living there.
Oh, okay.
Except for our cabins.
Yeah. And the cabin still, again, looks the same.
Yeah.
And Christina, Chris, and Keith, and I think with Connie and Larry and Earl, they want to keep the look of the cabin the way it was when all the parents were there. And I think that's what's so exciting about these memories. And Denise brought me a picture that she has pictures from Fairview. It's the picture of the cabin. And
before the big house was built beside it, which is
there's a big house really beside the cabin.
And humongous.
Yes. And so, and pictures of there was a little store. What was the name of that store?
Well, I don't know what it was called when we were kids, but it's called Tim's Two Shore Store now, because they have a restaurant down from it, which I didn't have pictures of. That's called Tim's Two on the Potomac.
Okay.
And it's supposedly a well-known restaurant. There's Tim's One somewhere else in maybe it's around Maryland area. I'm not for sure. So
that's the store. So when you came in the road that goes by all the streets.
Yes.
And we would walk up in the afternoon after we got out of the water, and they were the parents were preparing the meal, and we'd have our grandfather on my mom's side would give us some money to spend while we were gone, and we would go up and get penny candy and walk back, and that was a big deal for us to walk alone, because the adults. Or the teenagers.
They trusted us too.
Oh, it was a beautiful community.
Because it's like a little community, and it's not like being out in a big city. Everybody around watched everybody, and we felt safe. Our parents felt safe to have us out.
Yes,
moving around. So. And
the older cousins, Diane and Connie, I'll tell a story on them, and Larry and Earl. And I think probably Ronald and Dennis.
Yeah, they were
and
enough.
Us young kids, I don't know if you remember that, the windows would be open because there's no air conditioner, it was fans.
Yeah.
And they would be out on the streets and having fun and laughing, and we'd be listening, or I was listening and saying, oh, what's going on out there?
Yeah, talking to neighbors and friends.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so.
And it's still a community of family and friends when we go down. And like I said, we missed in July going to Chris and Keith and them invited us down. And we couldn't make it this time. So
we didn't miss much this year. It was raining.
Right.
We all sat on the porch and talked, but we reminisced and stuff. So.
Yes.
So, and then Keith gets the boat out, and that's the highlight of me being down there now, because I love to get on the boat and just ride through and see everything. So.
Well, and you know, I was just thinking of Uncle Richard. That was Uncle Jerry and Aunt Betty's brother, Uncle Richard, and his family.
They live down that area.
Yeah,
so.
they and Darlene and Debbie and they come now, and again we all sit on that screened-in porch, and again tons of food, and
yes.
I usually try to bring this mandarin salad. I don't know if you realized it, but I bring it because of those memories. And also have Denise brought this, and you want to tell about the hummingbird here?
Mom loved hummingbirds, so that's just become something that our family, when we see a hummingbird, we think of her, because she just loved them, and always had feeders out, and her and Dad would sit on the porch and watch the hummingbirds coming in. I, in fact, have 2 feeders now, and have about 6 or 7 that are coming in and feeding from mine too, so we just, you know, it's just something that she liked, so.
Well, you know, and thank you so much, and,
You're welcome.
Denise, my gosh, thank you for, you know, bringing that pictures and pictures of, again, Aunt Luella, and
that's when she was in high school, I believe.
High school, and I just, and we'll put that at the end of the video so you can see, and then we'll take a picture of the big picture that Denise shared, and if those that are watching that know about Fairview Beach, because again, a lot of Shenandoah County people, but I cannot thank your parents, Uncle Davis and Aunt Betty, and for inviting us down, and Chris and Keith now, to bring our family down and be able to experience that weekend, and wonderful memories that you just can't beat. And you were talking just before we got on video that with Fairview and where it's at on the Potomac, that if we're on the sand, we're in Virginia.
Yes.
If we're in the water, we're in Maryland.
So you can stand with one on the other, and you're in 2 states at one time.
Yes.
We used to laugh about that. Plus the shark teeth. I forgot about that. I could have brought shark teeth. We walk up and down the beach getting shells. That was a big thing to do. And finding shark teeth. I think one time I walked up and down the beach and found one shark tooth, walked with my dad over to the neighbor, which was Pete. Still don't know their names except for the first one. And I said, oh, I found this shark tooth, and he brings out a bucket full and gave me a handful.
Aww.
So I spent all day looking for one and got about a dozen more. So
yes. Oh, and when you talked about the boat, that I know that Ronald and Dennis
skied. Not Dennis, but Ronald did. I don't know if Dennis ever skied or not, but I know Larry and Earl and Uncle Davis and Dad. Ronald, they all skied out in the water. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yes. And, just wonderful memories. We're going to get ready here shortly, and we're going to make Aunt Luella's mandarin salad. And so we're going to put that on video for you. Again, Denise, thank you for coming, and Mom, you know, and sitting around the table and just talking of these wonderful memories growing up. And so thank you. I look forward to cooking with you here very shortly.
I look forward to eating.
Yes, we're going to be able to do that as well. And thank you so much for watching our video. If you like it, please share and subscribe. We do appreciate it.